doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for doing this interview with us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, no, anything I can do to help the movement, just let me know.
Well, you can start off by telling us a little bit about your background.
Okay, well, I am originally from Memphis, Tennessee.
Ooh.
I moved away when my parents got divorced in elementary school, so I've lived in several areas, but I did most of my college education in Arkansas. I went to University of Central Arkansas. Go Bears. Graduated in 2001 with a degree in communication and speech. I was the world's next CNN anchor. That dream slowly but quickly faded away. And I went back to get my master's in communication at the University of Arkansas. Go Hogs. And that's when I began teaching public speaking, and I began working in student affairs. So after I graduated, I got a job and worked in student affairs for 2 years. I advised students, I did programming, I did a lot of leadership development. And so then I was encouraged to go back to get my PhD, which is what led me here to UT to get my PhD in higher education administration. I got an assistantship here in minority student affairs, and I've been promoted since then to assistant director. So it's just been a great ride.
Okay. Well, aside from being the assistant director, what other organizations or programs are you involved with on campus?
I'm involved with the Urban League Young Professionals Group. It's a local group, you know, the Urban League, but they have a Young Professionals Group that kind of targets young black professionals to kind of be active and connect with other progressive professionals. Outside of that, I'm pretty busy between my coursework and working and being recently married, and I say I keep my life pretty filled.
Oh, yeah. It sounds nice. Okay, well, what do you think about the status of minorities on the University of Tennessee's campus? And has it changed since you've been here?
Okay, well, I came in 2006, like I said. I think the minority student population is thriving. I think there's a lot of talented youth, young adults. I think it has I think the population has changed a little bit. And I wrote on my notes, it seems that I know at least the freshmen and sophomores that have come in, they seem to be a whole lot more technologically savvy but interpersonally inept, if that makes sense. You can text me all day and chat, but when it comes to sitting down and connecting with people face to face, they seem to be a bit more introverted, a bit more shy, and a bit more distant. And so we're doing different things now to try to reach out to those students. So that's one thing. There's been a major change in the communication level. Initially, I thought that it's changed where a lot of students weren't as involved or connected to campus or to our office or to each other. But I'm beginning to see that change a little bit now. I'm seeing a lot of outstanding groups like this one, not in class. You know, I've seen a lot of students emerge that really want to do some things. So I think that's changing. But initially, I thought that today's population was really disconnected, did not want to be involved. I thought you all were pretty apathetic to large-scale issues. You know, it's just me and my iPod. That's all I care about. But I think that's changing, though.
Okay. My poor generation. What are your goals for this current semester and for future semesters?
Well, first I want to continue to connect students to our office. All students. We try to do a lot of things to support our students, to make them feel like they're at home, to give them room to grow and to cultivate their talents and to feel like they matter and that they belong here. We definitely want to keep that going. I really want to get more students involved. I've been sending out swarms of emails for opportunities for students to just get involved. We just want to increase student participation just within our office. And I just really want to see students get more activated and just energized about life and issues and concerns and reality.
Well, I have a real question for
Okay.
you, for our readers and viewers. What about those students that would like to become more involved until they find out that maybe if they're not known to be going in certain directions, that it would be kind of hard for them to be involved in certain organizations?
Well, I think that's a reality. I think there is a level of popularity contest, and I think that's part of the college experience. But I think there's a place for every student on campus, and it just takes the student not giving up. If you don't fit in with the squares, try the circles. If the circles reject you, try the pentagons, whatever. I think a lot of times students kind of get jaded and they give up and they say, you know, I want to transfer, UT sucks. Just come talk to me. I'll get you connected and nothing else. But just don't give up.
Okay. Well, what advice do you have for the underclassmen? Besides being talking to you.
Right. Besides people who are not in class. And I tell a lot of students this now because I reflect back on my undergrad days and the crunkness within. I regret not taking full advantage of my academic opportunities. And I tell students all the time, like, and I totally know how it goes. The approach to college for a lot of students is everything else first and then academics. Does that make sense? So it's like when I get up in the morning and I'm thinking about my day, it's not, okay, what should I do first academically and then everything else? It's more like, okay, I got to go to this meeting. I got to go see what Shay and them doing. Then I'm going to go to the mall. Then I'm going to do this. Now, oh yeah, I do got class at 10 o'clock. I mean, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to academics being the focal point first and everything else surrounding it. It's more secondary. And so it's a vocation, not a vacation.
Yeah.
So I would just encourage underclass students to really take advantage of your academic opportunities. Don't treat it secondary. Really make that the focal point, and then let that be your motivation to kick it, to get involved. But I do think you need a balance.
Well, what about for graduate students?
For graduate students like myself, I would
Yeah,
definitely say come out of the shadows and connect with other graduate students of color. UT has a culture of isolationism in graduate students. Everybody's on their own island. You're in your department, you don't see nobody else looks like you, so you just retreat and you just go to class and go home. I would definitely just say try to connect with our office, try to connect with BGPSA, just try to connect across campus to really reach those connections and those resources.
Okay. I know you touched on this a little bit earlier, but do you have any other concerns for students at this university?
Yeah, I have a list.
Okay, then go through the list.
I mentioned apathy earlier.
Yeah.
I still think there's a level of apathy, particularly with our minority students. Like I said, it's just me and my iPod against the world. I don't care about issues. I don't care about African American recruitment and retention. I don't care about, you know, any issues. I don't care. I'm just trying to get mine. And I think that kind of warps our students because once they hit the real world, they can't take it. So I think apathy is still a concern for me. Definitely a lack of consciousness that relates to our culture and where we come from. I think a lot of our students are just walking around and they're not aware of, you know, how race and class and all the other isms affect their life right now.